Oh, because it's not set to fucking...
A great start.
Hey, everyone. I know. Yeah. No, fantastic start. Now I'm just going to scare people by talking about my mic and how it's not working.
We are professionals.
Yes, professionally stupid. Professional amateurs. Well, I think it's working. I see the bar moving, so I'm just going to consider it's working. Hey, everyone. Welcome to week 4.
Oh, somebody heard a nutty word. We're banned.
Damn it. All right, pack it up. We're done.
Yep. All right. Thanks for everybody coming to the stream. We'll see you next week.
Well, we won't because we're banned.
Yeah. Oh, well.
I will never make partner. It's my one chance at fame. Sorry, Dad.
Where's all those bots that say when you want to be famous?
I guess I can just get an ASMR mic and lick it. That'll work. I'll get famous one way or another. Anyway.
Yeah.
Moving on. Yeah, welcome to week 4 of the Pint Series 5. I always get confused. So this week we are at Imola. Exciting race. Yeah, got a couple of new people joining. Hopefully we're going to get a bit of a closer race than we did last week. And we have a chicane that kind of throws people for a loop. And we also have a chicane death counter, which I hope to use quite extensively.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on to qualifying. We had some free practice here. Not a lot of people joining today. About 23 out of the 32, 3, whatever odd that were registered. But it is Father's Day, so I don't blame them. All right, looks like we got all the AMs going out on the track. Set their first qualifying laps. How many M's do we have this week? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think Chris's computer died, or he's ignoring me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm starting a prediction.
Oh.
We're gonna do predictions.
Man, we are professional.
So we made affiliate the other day, so now we can do predictions. You guys have channel points that you're accruing, so you can gamble your fake internet money. So our first prediction is who's going to qualify higher in the AM class. So your options are Bruce Hopkins and Bjorn Durand. Yes, Banana, we do qualifying by class. First is AM. They have the first 10 minutes qualifying. If you get to the line before the 10 minutes is up, you are allowed to finish your final lap and then just teleport back to the pits. Second 10 minutes is silver qualifying. They get from the 10-minute mark to the 20-minute mark. Same thing. If they get to the line before the 10-minute remaining mark, they get to finish their lap. And then the last 10 minutes is the pro class. So, Paul, we have some Yang fans in chat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, hopefully he doesn't murder anyone this week.
So this weekend,
Just gonna throw it out there.
Paul and I, some of the other guys from New World took part in the Watkins Glen 6 hours in iRacing, and Paul's team ended up in the split with Brian Yang's team, and there was a bit of an incident.
Yeah.
He's not your boy.
No, I hope he does well. I know he's actually pretty quick. I'm not sure why exactly he's in the AM class, but I didn't make the splits.
Well, he just joined the series. This is his first week, so he's a late join. We pulled him out of whatever hole he was hiding in because he had really good pace in the iRacing GT3 class. So he's just got stuck into a class for this season, and then if he decides to do the next one, we'll figure out where he belongs.
Yeah, I'm actually looking for him to be top of this class. At least based on his iRacing performance. I don't know how he is in a ACC. It's
Well,
been a
somebody
while.
to give Bruce a run for his money, hopefully, because Bruce has kind of run away. He's won all three races, so he's way out in front in points, and I don't know that anybody has really given him a challenge yet. So hopefully Yang can come in and do that.
Yeah, Bruce is 3 for 3 now in the AM class, I believe. So he has been basically, yeah, like you said, running away with that. I am hoping for somebody to hit that chicane. Not
Or
Dorcius.
you're waiting for the sausage.
I am waiting for the sausage. Not
So this
Durand.
week, we're expecting the front engine cars to do better, right? Because of being able to eat curbs and stuff like that. We think the mid engine cars are going to struggle more.
Yeah, so what I'm looking at is for the Mercedes, the Bentleys, the Astons, of course, to just run over that chicane.
Yeah, there's a couple Lexus out there that should do well as well.
So far, nobody. My counter stays at 0.
Man,
I am supremely disappointed.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Control and F7.
You're gonna, yeah, put a camera straight on the chicane and just leave it there.
Yeah, man. We're just going to go. We're going to follow the track around here.
You know, I say that, but a lot of these people have been racing for a while, so I think they're kind of used to it by now. I don't think any of them are going to eat it. Of course, I only say that to get commentators curse and actually cause somebody to go over.
Exactly. That's what we're here for, is just to cause people to have accidents.
Yes. Accidents make for good TV.
That is correct. We'll slow this way down here. There we go. I got you perched above the chicane there.
Oh. Look
What's
at
up,
that.
Kenny? We see Kenny in the chat. Mr. Zero, the new E-Type. Ooh,
Oh.
Dorsch
Dorcius
coming
gets a little
through.
wide.
Duran, they're babying it. Everybody wanting to put in a clean lap. Just get a banker in there, and then you can try to send it.
Brian Yang. He's got my
Bruce
vote.
coming through.
They are all babying it. Come on, full send.
Well, you gotta remember, it's what is it, a fast track right now? There's no rubber down, so it's gonna be pretty slippery out there. And a lot of these guys, it looks like a lot of them are driving mid-engine cars. Oh, the cats have heard my voice. I apologize if you can hear my annoying little animals in the background. They are locked out of the room.
What a monster. How dare you?
I know. I fed them and I gave them water and I played with them earlier. You're fine. Brian Yang at the top of the board right now with a 143.9.
Yeah, it's not even close. I am going to leave my feelings out of it and congratulate Brian on a great qualifying so far.
Is there a command to just move him up to silver category now? Is that
I
a thing you
wish.
can do? Just bump him mid-qualifying?
Yeah,
he is
143.9, that is, especially in the McLaren, that's actually a time that is going to be really good around here. I don't know.
That's a pretty good silver time. I've been watching some of the silver guys practice this week. And so Brian's going to find himself mixed up in there in some of the upper guys.
Yeah, Brian's definitely in the wrong class. But
yeah, we'll see. Maybe Bruce and Dorcius can improve a little bit. Durand is yet to have a clean time.
Yeah, and you got to remember though, qualifying only sets the grid order. You know, at the start, you're pretty much.
From what I see where I'm sitting now, Brian Yang is attacking those sausage curbs in that chicane. He's the only one running over them. Everybody else is leaving a lot of room there. Even Bruce in that Aston. He gets a little bit there, but Yeah, nobody really up on their time. I mean, Bruce is up about 3, almost 4 tenths. Dorsch is up about 5 tenths or so. But that's still going to put them over a second behind Brian Yang.
Yeah, 143.9. The second best is 145. Well, soon to be 5.4 maybe. And I'm not seeing anyone else go any faster than that. Kind of surprised that Hopkins isn't higher up on the board. I'm gonna guess it's not his favorite track.
That's quite possible. We ran this track Monday for our multi-class kind of goof around, and he and I both drove in the GT4 category. In the first race, I was out front just by a little bit. I think I might have jumped to start. I qualified P2, qualified P1, and I got a bit of a gap on him. But in the second race, we did a reverse grid, and he just absolutely left me behind. So he knows the track. I just may not be as comfortable in the GT3 because the GT4 you can take those curbs quite a bit more.
Yeah. I mean, the GT4s their suspension's much softer. You can just hammer the curbs. Yeah, and he's going all.
He also drove the
hard.
Camaro.
Yeah, the Camaro's just gonna glide over.
Kenny says Bruce is killing in the AMs. You just needed Kenny out of the way. Well, Kenny, the only way to get you out of the way is to run you off the track.
Yes.
If you ever race with Kenny, he is the most defending, blocking son of a gun. But a good, clean racer, so. We miss Kenny on Mondays in his Maserati. I mean, Dorsch has improved, but he's still a full second behind.
Yeah, we have definitely put Brian in the wrong class.
Yep. So that's the 20-minute mark. So anybody who has crossed the line before the 20-minute mark is allowed to finish their lap. But it looks like Brian Yang is going to be way out front the M class.
So Brian Yang with a 143.8. Let's see what the silvers can do. Who do we have on track first? Looks like Blaine in the Asus ROG liveried McLaren.
Yep, Blaine's going to be one to watch this week. He's been doing a lot of practice, and he feels like he's putting down some pretty good times. He's been posting them in the Discord all week long, showing his improvement. And he's been attacking that chicane. It's one of the main places you can lose time. So I'll be interested to see how he can do in traffic, because as we know, hot lapping and driving in traffic are two different things.
Yeah, like I said, qualifying sets the grid order, but then you got that run down to T1. It's a fast T1. Those Tamburellos, quick corner, a lot of chance for somebody to just bump somebody off, send them into the grass or the sand to play with Tiago. Lots of opportunities for little mistakes.
Okay, so
yeah, I do enjoy this livery. It's quite... well, it's very well made.
Alright, so we're going to do another prediction, because it looks like Bruce won that last one. So we'll do the same one for silver. Paul, give me two guys you think are going to do well.
Two guys. I'm gonna say Luki and Rados.
Yeah, they've been fighting all season long. Alright, so you got 2 minutes to get your predictions in. Please quit showing me this message. I don't care. No, I can't get points. To be cheating. So you've got Andrew Rados in the Lexus and Michael Lukey in the Porsche. Those are your options.
Lukey is in the Porsche, yes.
Yeah, but Lukey's got to have a good race. I mean, he always finds himself up in the top 10 at some point, and then like last week at Kyalami, unfortunately got taken out by a spinning car. No fault of his own. There's just nowhere to go. Had Dylan Sauer in the Ferrari, lost the front end, but lost the back end in front of him, and bounced off a wall and just collected Lukey, and that was basically Lukey's race over. So he's going to be trying to get up into that top 10 again and get some good points, because I think he's still in second place in the championship. So he needs a win, a class win, to close that gap.
So far, 2 people have put in valid times, Lukey and Victor, and neither of them have actually managed to go faster than Brian. 3 people now with a valid time. Oh, so some more people crossed the line, and Rados takes P1 with a 43.4.
Are we putting Brian Yang in pro? Is that what we're doing?
That's up to Dad Ferris. Happy Father's Day to Ferris for being all of our dad.
That's right. Happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there. If you're a father, I'm sorry. We got a couple guys that were supposed to be here this week that can't make it because of fatherly duties.
See, I thought, no, I'm not a dad, but I thought that you're supposed to do whatever you want.
Well, I mean, that's what I do. I'm a dad, and I do whatever I want.
Yeah, but you do that every day.
That's very true. That is one of the joys of being an adult father, is you kind of do what you want.
See, I remember when Father's Day would come around, my dad just said he wants to sleep until noon, which I thought was great.
Tell you what, man, I got to bed at 11 o'clock this morning. It was awesome. I didn't get any breakfast in bed, though. I had to get up and make my own food.
Oh,
Rados almost lost it.
Almost, but he held it. And Lukey actually went ahead of him, so this is going to be interesting.
Blaine Hall into P1.
Blaine Hall into P1 with a McLaren. A little surprised there because it's not the strongest car around here. Not by a long shot. It does not like curbs. It is pretty stable in the first sector, but then once you get to Acqua Minerale and after that, it's so-so.
Well, there goes Rados into the 42s. He was 0.6 up on his time, and he just jumped Blaine by quite a bit.
Yeah, so Blaine's about 0.3 off of his time, but he's improving. He's about 0.4 up on his best, so if he holds this, he'll jump up again. Lukey in the pits, though. I guess he decided this is it. Yeah, and Blaine's hammering those
He's just
those curbs.
Absolutely running them over. Yeah. Miss Crash says loves the team name. Which team name are you talking about?
I think somebody has a Kimmy team name.
Oh,
I know Ferris's team name is Where's My Steering Wheel?
Yep, he drives in VR, so he can't actually see his steering wheel. I believe Monday, Dylan Sauer's team name was Sour Taste Racing. Got a kick out of.
Blaine P1. 0.09 of a second up.
Wow.
But Rados is actually about 0.3 up on his last time, so this might not hold.
Well, we got about 2.5 minutes left of silver qualifying.
Yeah, it looks like Lukey just kind of decided this is it. This is as good as it's going to get. I'm out. Just let everyone else fight for it. Can't say I'm surprised. He's been taken out the last 2 or 3 races. I mean, no matter how well he qualified, somebody just kind of either hit him or he just collected accidents along the way.
I mean, that could be a valid strategy, because as we know, people are going to go hard into T1, and then you're going to have a big stack up of people going into the chicane and into Acqua Minerale. So, I mean, there could be some incidents, and you could gain some positions. So,
Brian Curzon across the
interesting to
line.
see.
Is he going to move up from 15th? No. Brian
Daniel
Curzon,
Bradford,
also known as the Master of Wreckfest.
the Tryharder Wreckfest. Is that what you mean? The only person I've ever seen who practices for Wreckfest?
Hey, some people take it seriously. It's a serious game.
I know we had a lot of tryhards in the server last night.
Yeah, we did. People with A-class motorhomes. Come on. Come
Yep,
on.
the honey pot and A class lawnmower.
For those who don't know, Wreckfest is one of the best games I think released in the last 10 years.
It's amazing.
Yeah, if you have a good group of people, you know, even if you don't, just join a public lobby. It's a hell of a lot of fun, especially after you get crashed out by Brian Yang and iRacing 6-hour enduro.
How long can we carry that through the season?
Until the next endurance race in September, so
There you go.
2 months, 3 months.
Look for us at the Daytona 24, first week in September. Yes, Plucky Wreckfest is the best. Like Chameleo's decided to park on the side of the track. I think he was invalidated, so he will not get to improve.
Yeah, Victor making his way down to Aqua Minerale, which means the chicanes are coming up. So far, nobody has spun or hit them too hard or crashed out there, and
I've been sitting here for 20
that's
minutes.
going to be a track cut, 100%.
Yep, Victor is going to be invalidated there. Yep, he's got a red time. It looks like Blaine Hall is up almost 2/10, which will put him right even with Rados if he can hold it. Oh, up to 3/10.
He got a little bit of
Oh,
a
he's losing
slow exit out of the last turn, so he's not going to move up to first.
But he'll be right on Rados.
So that's the end of his lap. Now we got the pros coming out. So it looks like Rados is actually held on.
That means Rados is going to win that prediction.
I think I just beat you to it.
Aw, you sorry sucker. Quit taking my predictions. Yeah, telling me something went wrong. Thanks.
What do you think between Miles and Tiago?
Miles.
Yeah,
Strictly
I think so
because
too.
of the car.
Yeah.
You've got Alves, who's in the Audi. He's gonna have issues going over those curbs. And Miles is he's just gonna drive right over him. It's not even gonna matter. He won't even know that they're there.
Well, I mean, that's what we thought about the McLaren. We saw Blaine just hammer them like they weren't there either. So who knows? Maybe it's more about the driver and the setup than the actual car.
Yeah, but I think that comes down to Blaine practicing every day this week.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
So you're more in tune with their practices.
Well, I follow most of the guy. Anybody in our community that streams, I follow them. And I popped in there last night because I was playing another game and I just kind of needed some background noise or something like that. And watching him practice. And if he loses anything, and he was doing some public lobby stuff too, so he's working on his driving in traffic. But anytime he makes a mistake, he criticizes himself, and then he saves his replays to go back and watch his lines to see what he's doing wrong. So the guy is putting in effort. So Blaine, yeah, I know he's not driving the best car for this track, but I think he's done the most work.
Yeah, I mean, it's paying off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he is sitting P2 provisionally as of now. So whatever he's doing it right.
He's 8/10 up on Lukey. We know Lukey's no slouch.
Yeah, so first across the line with a valid time. Who will that be?
Oh, we missed one. We got some black marks on the road.
Oh, did we?
Sitting there doing predictions and we missed it. You can see on my
Well, you have
screen.
a replay.
Yeah, but that's a lot of work. We know there's one, so put one on the board. You got Blaine Hall in chat saying too much sliding. I don't know, man. You did really well.
One on the board.
Bingsley coming through. So in the pros, no surprise, Nick Alvarado way out front in points. He's won all 3 races, right? But
Did he win last week?
Kailami, yeah. I believe so.
I forget. Like I said, I have a terrible memory.
I don't think he's lost one yet. But he's saying, or he's been saying, that the first 3 races really favored the Honda, and everything else after that he's just gonna struggle. So
He said the same thing before our first race in OR, like, oh, the Honda's trash at Silverstone, and he like got P2. So you know what?
Give me a Nick Alvarado impression.
Boo on him. No, I can't do accents.
Tiago did a British one earlier in the voice chat, and it was amazing. For those of you that don't know, Tiago is Brazilian. So he had a Brazilian doing a British accent, and it was great. Carl Big just sending it over those curbs.
Yeah, and he's hitting a bit of a traffic in Tiago's Audi. So that's going to ruin his lap a little bit, even though he's already 3/10 up on his previous time. Well, he's actually going to get a pretty good tow down the back straight now.
Yeah. We'll see if Tiago lets him go.
Of course. Yeah, Carl Big with a 42.2. Nick with a 42.4.
We saw Tiago doing some aggressive driving last week at Kyalami, especially with the back markers. So maybe we're finally getting through to him with all the Discord channels that we have for him.
Well, here comes Nick. And yeah, so far, he wasn't lying. Just kidding, I know he's sandbagging. He's already half a second up on his last time, so...
Yeah.
I fully expect 41s from him.
Yeah, it looks like Carl is way down his delta, so he might be backing off of Tiago to get some clean air.
Yeah, Nick's still half a second up.
Miles just blows over those curbs. Eric Groom taking them pretty aggressively. Bear's kind of tiptoeing through. Tiago runs wide on his exit. Nick Cahoot through clean. Carl Big. I can't believe that first one wasn't a track cut. But yeah, the pros, they are going at those curbs.
So, not exactly 41s, but Nick Alvarado up in P1. It looks like he's going to park it on the side of the road and be done with it.
Yeah. Honda's
Carl
trash.
Big has invalidated.
Yeah, Carl went excuse me, Carl went way shallow on that first the first curb on that chicane.
Billingsley's about a 10th up, but no, actually that will move him up right behind Nick. And as I say that, he's now 2/10 up. Oh no, he just lost it all. What is happening?
I don't know what's going on anymore.
Now he's 2/10 down. First he was up, then he's down. My heart can't take it.
It's kind of weird. Like, everybody's so spread out. You've got Ferris Sadie down in 8th, with Paul Miles right behind him.
Hey,
he's usually one of the top 3.
It's gonna make for spicy racing. I am
Sauer,
all
who we
for
know
it.
Sauer, who is really fast but super inconsistent, way down the list.
Yeah, and Carl, unless he hits some traffic or something bad happens to him, he actually might take P1 away from Nick, who just
He's
went
picked
out
up
on
a
track
little
for
bit
his
more time.
last. Is moving under braking allowed if you do it? It's frowned upon.
Is it moving under braking allowed if you do it to Tiago?
It's just
I
frowned
don't
upon in
know.
general.
It's,
But
but but when Tiago's involved, is nah. I don't think we like that. You're allowed one move, not under braking. And if you move under braking and they punt you, it's your own fault.
so Carl Big is going to go into P1 here. Then we got Nick on his outlap. Now, is he going to have enough time to cross the line and do a hot lap? I think he should. I've got about 40 seconds here.
He should, yeah. He should make it back to the line in time. See if he can steal it on the last lap. He's been known to do that quite a bit. You got Nick Cahoot, who was 3/10 up, but looks like he's lost a bunch.
Yeah, we have a couple of experts in this league on moving under braking and defending too hard. Not
right,
gonna name
Kenny.
names here, but you know.
I have that replay saved. That's the great thing about the Monday races. They're all in good fun. You know, if you get wrecked, we laugh about it. We go on about our day. Did someone say GT4? Yes, Monday. On Mondays, we do a GT3, GT4 multi-class, 2x25. First race during the day, second race at night. It's no points ever. It's all for good fun. So if you want to do GT3, GT4 multi-class on a Monday, we got you covered. And this Monday, tomorrow, is Random Randomness, which I am excited for.
Well, Nick starts P2. What
Good.
A shocker.
Good.
So it looks like the order is pretty much all set here. Actually, as I say that, Billingsley is up.
Yeah,
so
he's not even up enough to move up a spot.
Not yet.
See if he can jump his teammate in Rados.
Yeah, that's not going to be enough. That's unfortunate.
So it looks like Thiago Alves finished above Paul Miles.
Yes, he did.
In a 92 to 8%. So no faith in Paul Miles in chat. We'll have to let him know about that later.
If I could have voted, I would have voted Paul Miles.
You could have voted. I can't vote. Because I made the prediction. Because I made the prediction. If you make the prediction, you're not allowed to vote. But everybody else can. Although with you being the one streaming it, maybe you can. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think I can either. I should.
Predictions are rigged. They are absolutely rigged. You are very correct.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I have a script that changes the ballast on people's cars.
If you go to paypal.com/New World Sim Racing, you send us money. Which I don't think that's actually, don't go there because that's probably not a real thing.
If you go to I can't say that.
If you go to Paul's Only Feet channel.
Yes. I am collecting pictures. Sorry, Twitch admins. That's not what I meant.
I'm gonna let me go to my garage. Is it kind of like wait for the session to start?
Yes. I don't know. Maybe. Clearly,
Kenny,
I know nothing.
I do not have a bathtub stream. I did one hot tub stream. Okay, let's get it right. And I got 2 subs from that. So
Huh?
tell me I'm wrong.
I mean, I would do it. If you can't beat him, join him.
Exactly. Yeah, I can't go back to the garage, so I'll have to leave the session and then rejoin.
Boo.
Thanks, Kunos. Okay, so Big Alvarado Kahoot Rados, silver up in P4, Billingsley in P5, Hall P6. So 2 silvers in the top 10. Sadie Groom, Alves, and Paul Miles round out your top 10. Down to 15, you got Brian Yang, who's leading the AM class, followed by Dorcius in 17 and Bruce in 19. So this should be a good one.
Yeah, I am fully... well, I want to see what happens in turn 1. Like I said, turn 1 is usually a spicy one at Imola. It is a hot track, 38 Celsius. Hot day, 30 Celsius. A little bit of a wind. It looks like it's a tailwind going into turn 1. I don't know how much that actually affects the cars. These aren't F1 cars. They're pretty fat to begin with. Nick, I can't tell if he's actually trying to warm up his tires or just lagging.
That's the good old South American internet.
Yeah, both him and Thiago and Victor have the highest ping for me.
Not as much flashing on the warm-up lap as I'm used to. A little disappointing. I wonder if people are tryharding today.
They could be.
That's Nick just getting those tires ready for turn 1.
Yep, so this is Carl's pace. He basically dictates the race. So they crossed.
Green light, green light.
Oh, there we go. Green light. So Carl looks like he had a pretty good start. Nick is trying to squeeze on the outside, go into T1. Carl's going to have the better line, definitely. And we all make it past T1.
Yep, Thiago getting a little squirrely right next to Paul Miles. They get a little bit of a bump, but get through clean.
Yeah,
Opens
Blaine
up
Hall
kind of a
going on
gap.
the outside of Sadie. Down into P7 here.
All we gotta do is wait for live timing to catch up.
Yeah, so far no incidents that I can see.
Yeah, that was a clean T1. Well done, boys. As we all know, lap 1 incidents count for double. Thiago Alves off the track. Rejoins safely.
Yeah, so we got Carl actually pulling away really well from Nick here. So at this point, well, that's basically all he has to do now is just keep it clean, keep it within the lines. This is Imola is a pretty difficult track to pass, especially in the Honda. You don't have the best straight line speed. You're definitely not going to match the Nissan on the straight. Now it looks like Chin got a little bit of an incident. At least I see it on the incident tracker here. I wonder what happened with him. Must have had a little bit of a love tap.
Looks like Thiago just kind of lost the back end a little bit. Going around the corner, looks like he got on the curb and just kind of slid it out a little bit. Ended up in the grass, but
he fell all the way down to 19th, 20th.
Yeah,
It's gonna hurt his ego a little bit.
yeah. He just a little bit of misstep there.
Yeah, and Carl Biggs already put 1.2 seconds between him and Alvarado, so he's just driving away with this one. Meanwhile, Rados is catching up to Nick in the Bentley.
I don't know what happened between Chin. Oh yeah, it's just a little bit of a love tap. Nothing major. I got it pulled up. He just kind of gets into the back end of him a little bit. Didn't even really push him wide. So no harm, no foul.
Yeah, Brian Yang down in 13th. Not bad. It's actually ahead of most of the silvers. Definitely ahead of all of the AMs. It's not even close. So he's now all over the back of Lukey.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how high Yang can work his way through this field.
Yeah, let's hope that if he does manage to spin that car, he keeps the brakes applied and doesn't slide forwards or backwards.
Can we get another counter on the screen as how many times we refer to that? Because I think we're up to like 5 or 6 so far.
Well, now we have Nick flashing Alvarado over here in the Bentley. So as we saw last Monday, if you weren't watching, the Bentley does have actually a really good top speed here. I was catching up with Nick and the Jag. So I was very surprised at how fast the Bentley is around here. So I'm going to be interested to see if he can make something happen coming out of the last turn and down the straight. I think that's pretty much the only place you'll be able to pass in the Bentley around here. It's a very wide car.
I don't know, man. If you get it up on the inside of somebody, you can just kind of muscle your way through. That is a big, chunky car. And if he can get next to Nick, he can just kind of shove him around.
Yeah, you could if you're brave. Of course,
jerk.
you can backfire on you and take yourself out.
I don't know, man. On Monday, I watched a guy in a Bentley murder a GT4 car.
Yes.
Like, absolutely. It was Brian Curzon. I felt bad for the guy because he just minded his own business. And, and some guy just blew through in a battle and like he wasn't even there.
Yeah. Some people are just jerks. You know? It
Carl
happens.
Big's lead. Almost 2 seconds already. What are we, like 2 laps into the race?
Yep. We are on lap.
He is-
Well, we've completed 2 laps. This is lap 3 that we're about to complete here. And yeah, he is just running away.
He is dusting everybody.
And Nick has to defend against better Nick in the Bentley. Some Nick on Nick action.
Got Eric Groom all over the back of Ferris Sadie.
Oh, and what happened with Yang? All the way down into 21st.
Oh, I'll have to go back and find that one. Where's Yang? There he is. Replay here to work.
Yeah, he must have had something happen that... Oh, there he is in the sand.
Here we
Let's
go.
see.
Looks like Chameleon just decided not to slow down.
Oh no.
And
Yeah,
that,
that's gonna be looked at by the
gonna
almighty
be
review team.
That will be a big penalty.
Yes, as it should. You know, we like to encourage close racing, but we also like to encourage fair racing.
And then Yang doing his part to rejoin safely.
Yes.
And of course, he rejoins and he's got Chameleon right behind him again. So
Yes, it's nice to see that he learned and now he's rejoining safely.
he held his brakes in the sand.
I mean, there's not really anywhere to go.
Yeah, you hate to see it when a guy is having a good performance like that and he's just heads above the rest of his class, and then unfortunately he gets taken out and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, I mean,
We're getting rated and hosted by Spoolin' by You.
I will say,
Welcome everybody.
Karma has funny ways of working, you know?
Let's put another one on the counter there. Not the fun counter though.
No, it wasn't fun when it happened.
Austin Clark.
Yeah, we got a pretty good three-way, four-way battle here between Mild, Sour, Lukey, and Beverage. So Beverage leading this four-man train. Miles right up on his tail, Sour right behind him, and then Lukey bringing up the back. And
Something happened with Clark because he is dropped like a stone. He was in the top 15. I know what happened. Oh, that's a backwards car.
Add one to the chicane counter. Oh no, he got tapped in Aqua Minerale.
Yeah, he got a little loose because he caught the sausage on the inside, and I think Alves tried to avoid him, but kind of got into the back of him.
See, good on him though for holding his brakes while everyone else passes him by.
Yeah, unfortunately, that put him at the back of the grid.
That's what you like to see. You know, stuff happens. Keep it clean. Pump your brakes. Wait for people to drive by you. Rejoin when it's safe.
Yep. Just because you had an incident doesn't mean you need to ruin somebody else's race. You got Chameleon in the pit, probably to fix that front end damage from rear-ending Brian Yang.
Yep, and you got Eric Groom trying to make a move on. Is it Ferris? Yeah, it's Ferris.
Ferris, yeah.
Yeah, so he's going to go for it in T1. He takes a little bit of a peek. And it looks like he broke a little bit later, but he gets the outside line, so he's not going to have a clean exit.
Yeah, Ferris defending that inside line really well.
Yeah, and they're actually catching up to some back markers here.
Yeah, that's Chameleon. Looks like he's fresh out of the pit.
Oh, and Ferris goes wide, goes into the sand. That gives Eric the spot. Tiny little mistake, and that's how you just lose a place.
Keep an eye on this Nick on Nick battle. Oh, Nick Alvarado catches air.
Oh no. And Nick Alvarado's playing in the sand. How far the mighty have fallen.
Big time. The front end of his car looked like he was heading to space.
That is oh, and he's just doing donuts. You hate to see it. Now Thiago Alves goes by him going into Aqua Minerale, so he's gonna, hoping he doesn't have a lot of suspension damage, he can come back up, but
here's your replay for you. You got
that's a rare mistake from Nick.
And he comes in hot, and you see the front end of that car, and catches one of those sausage curbs, and just you can't turn anymore because your front wheels aren't on the ground.
Yeah, that's not the line I'd want to take through there.
Yeah. Well, he's pushing, trying to stay ahead of that Bentley, and
yeah.
But so now he can say that the Honda is trash.
So now I fully expect him to just get by Thiago in short order here, and then make his way up the field. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough pretty much up until he gets to Miles, because I don't know if he has the speed to keep up with the Mercedes.
So this battle for 5, 6, 7 is... Oh, Ferris Sadie gets loose and gets passed by Blaine Hall. I was about to say it's about to get interesting because Blaine was catching up to him. But Ferris is struggling in that Audi today and gets loose, and Blaine scoots on by.
Yeah, now he's fallen all the way down to 6th.
Yeah, that's going to put Sadie in 7th.
Yeah,
because Blaine Hall got in front of him.
It's interesting to see all the what we would consider the strong front runners kind of struggle on Imola, except for Carl, who was just 6 seconds ahead now of P2.
Yeah, Carl is not wasting any time. And it looks like we got Nick Cahoot and Rados bumper to bumper.
Yeah, I took a peek coming out of the chicane there. Couldn't really make anything of it going into the last turn. So he's got Lexus in front, Lexus behind, all for position.
Bear's trying to get his spot back. We got a car stopped on the road. That's Chameleon again. Looks like he's turned that thing around. If I can see, if I can find what happened to him there. He is facing
Ooh.
the wrong way.
Yeah, looks like he's not really trying to get back on track either.
Well, he's had a pretty disastrous start to his race.
He does have his hazards on, though.
Well, good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's...
Oh, he's not facing the wrong way. He just
He's just
pulled.
blinking.
Okay, so here's your replay for you. It's a bit of a. It'll tell the tale. It comes in. I don't know if you want to consider this a. I mean,
Add it.
he's all over the place. I mean, add that one to the list. But then he's super slow, and then he pulls off the track. So I'm not sure what's going on there.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what happened there either.
I don't know what's happened with our replay. Holy cow.
I don't know. Ask the guy with the replay computer.
Well, my computer is fine. It may be the application stream.
Could be.
Chimilo's still sitting on the side of the track.
Yeah, Nick Cahote.
He may have
Trying
had
to-
some sort of IRL emergency. That
He might have. We've all had
they
a
just park
spicy
it
lunch.
there. Yeah, they just
Oh,
park
and
it and
Rados
not put
goes
it in the
wide
garage.
going into the last turn. That's going to give Nick P2.
Yep, Nick's gonna scoot on by. And Chimilo's in the pit now. A little bit further back, P9, P10, we got Sauer challenging Paul Miles.
Yeah, I
two
don't know
guys.
if I would consider this a Ferrari track. I haven't kept up with the BOP and everything.
Well, it's an Italian track, and the Ferrari's an Italian car, so you would think that it would work well. But from what I hear, it doesn't. I hear the Ferrari is terrible here, and that if you drive it here, you're insane. And that might be why Sauer, who was running towards the front last week, finds himself down there in P10 behind Paul Miles.
Yeah, but I mean, he's keeping up, so he's not losing time. He's not really making up time either, though.
Yeah, and this is a battle we see fairly often is Miles and people like Sauer and Brendan McVeigh, who's not here today, I just noticed. One of my teammates from the Watkins 6 Hour. Probably doing some Father's Day stuff.
Or he just got really demoralized from being taken out 4 hours into a 6-hour race.
Yep, hour and a half to go. We were a podium car, and he was driving when we got murdered, so you feel for him.
Yeah, that'll do it. Here we have Austin Clark trying to make a move on Scott Chin. Some Aston on Aston action. Oh, he's going to get by pretty quickly. Going into turn 6 here. 6 or 7. My numbers are all wrong. 7.
Sadie's having all sorts of issues. Now he's got Dylan Beveridge catching him. Beveridge, who's kind of struggled this, I guess, the whole series. Typically he does really well. He qualifies really well, and then he has a catastrophic incident during the race at some point. But doing pretty well in P8, fixing to catch up to Ferris, who just seems to not have any traction out there today.
Yeah, something must be up with that setup on that Audi. I mean, I know it's not the best car around here, but this seems kind of unusually, I don't want to say slow, but unusually twitchy in a handful.
Somebody go over to his stream and ask him what's going on. Go do our reconnaissance for us.
Maybe he's tired. He did have the 12 hours of Suzuka yesterday, so...
Yep. Him, Nick Alvarado, and Max Diggs, who doesn't race in the series.
Yeah, I mean,
ACC SS 12-hour Suzuka.
3 people for 12 hours, that's a long time, and it started at a very unfriendly time for US or Canada or, North America in general.
Kenny in the chat says Chimilo didn't have any gas in his car.
Oh, well, that'll do it.
Bit of an oversight there. Probably running quali fuel.
Yeah, that will do it. Yeah, so we got Alva's in P16, so he's kind of climbing up slowly. from that little mistake he had earlier.
Oh, not his gas, his throttle, like his pedal
Oh.
quit working.
Oh.
So a mechanical malfunction.
Yeah, we got some technical issues here.
I mean, that's part of real life racing. You know, things break, things quit working. Just part of it. You got to either figure it out or you retire.
Yeah, so Dylan Sauer still keeping up with Miles. Getting really close into the braking zone of the T1 and 2 here.
Yeah, making Miles have to work for it. It's like Nick Cahoot has lost out P3 to Billingsley. So you got two Lexus. I mean, the top four cars in the race are all front engine cars. Yeah, Billingsley seemingly came out of nowhere because I don't think he was that close. So he must have gained a bunch of time. Probably while Rados and Cahoot were fighting.
Yeah, Nick got past Rados, so he was actually pulling away. He must have had an off track somewhere.
Cahoot is all over the place, driving wide. Wonder what's going on with him.
Well, as a fellow Bentley driver, sometimes that car can be a handful. And as the fuel load gets lighter, it gets really tail heavy. So as this race goes on, I kind of expect him to have to work harder and harder to find traction, because it does really like to spin once fuel gets light. And I'm guessing he's running half a tank or 50 liters for the first half of the race and then refueling when the pit window opens.
Yeah, that's a normal strategy. Guys will run about a half a tank. And then, because it is a required pit stop, you're required to put tires on. You're not required to add fuel. But it all happens at the same time, and it's a mandatory 30-second for tires. So you might as well.
Yeah, so we got Sauer about half a second behind Miles, Alvarado all the way down into 12th. Trying to get past Beveridge. Nick up in P4, about half a second back on Billingsley, and those are pretty much the only close battles here.
Yeah, we got Dorcius in the pit in the M class. I don't know if that's an early pit strategy, try to undercut. You got Thiago Alves stuck behind Brian Yang. Excuse me.
Brian Yang has shown to be very quick. So I don't know if he's really stuck, or it looks like he does have some damage too, so whatever he did collected a little bit of side scrapes.
Yep. Man, my throat still. So we had Alves earlier that got into the back of Clark, I believe it was. So he may be carrying some front end damage on that car.
There comes that Bentley. Trying to make a move on to Lexus. So if he gets a good exit out of here, I actually expect him to get past the Lexus going into T1.
Was Beveridge behind Nick Alvarado? Or did Nick get past him?
Yeah, Nick passed him.
Because Nick is in front of Dylan. Dylan's not taking it lightly. He's coming back at him, but...
Yeah, just look at that Bentley just not caring about any of the bumps. It's like they just don't exist.
Carl Big with almost a 7-second gap over P2.
Yeah, he is just relaxing.
He is crushing it out there.
Probably has time to drink a beer, soda, whiskey, pick your poison, water, Hydro Homie.
So our recon has come back, and apparently Ferris says that his tires are run out, and the curves are killer. He hasn't practiced, and his car is terrible at this track.
So I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 excuses, or 4?
4. That's at least 4 excuses.
Okay.
I mean, he does have Groom and Hall ahead of him. Those are two mid-engine cars, and then he's also driving a mid-engine. So he's technically the third place mid-engine car.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know it's not the Audi strong track, or the Lambos, really. But I kind of expected a little bit more from Sadie.
Yeah, he's consistently one of the top 3 or 4 cars. So to see him down there, I mean, P7 is still not bad. It's nothing to sneeze at, but it is out of the ordinary. Yeah, he could be sore from, the race yesterday. They did a 12-hour race in the rain at Suzuka and finished P5. So
Last recon I do. No, thank you for the recon. It was much appreciated. I need something.
we weren't saying that
To
you
smack
were
talk
giving
on people.
excuses. That's why we do this, just so we can talk trash about people that are faster than us.
Yeah, this is
I
why
can't
I'm not
race with
racing.
these guys.
No.
I'm way too slow, but I can talk crap about them.
It's what we're here for. Entertainment
Nick Cahoot coming up on Billingsley.
and professionalism.
That's right.
Well, at least
We
one
know
of
where our
those.
mics don't work.
Yeah, Nick on Billingsley and then Sour on Miles. This
Yep.
is an interesting... Man, this camera angle, how does a game that's made for broadcast and esports not have the right camera angles? Come on.
Just ACC things. Oh, you'd love to see. We got Dave Chamilio in the Discord Series 5 chat apologizing to Brian Yang already.
Oh, and Sour goes a little bit wide.
Mark it.
I
Mark
will
it.
mark that. It's not a death, but it is. It's
Well,
a
he
victim.
did lose out quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I lost about a second on that one.
Yeah, he lost a second.
Meanwhile, Groom got
Nick-
passed by
Nick Cahoot in the pit.
Oh yeah.
Bit of an undercut.
Telling
Tired
you
of
when
being
that
stuck
Bentley gets
behind
light on
Billingsley.
fuel, it is not
Yeah.
good.
Yep, all the fuel drains out of that back end, and that's where all the power's at. And
So we got Tiago coming up on Brian Yang here. Now Tiago was on my team for the Watkins Glen 6 hours. Oh, and
Make
Tiago
another
looks
mark
like he's
on that
going
one.
into the pits.
yeah, Tiago's gonna pit.
Yeah, so we were definitely in the same state of mind when we got taken out. I don't want to say taken out, because we didn't get taken out. But oh, it looks like Guillermo goes a little bit wide, and that just lets Clark by. And is he going to let Duran by also? Yep, looks like Duran's going to make it by too.
Good
Guillermo
on
goes
him
into
for
the
not
pits.
Not jumping right back on track and taking out, because Austin was right next to him when he went off, and had he tried to jump right back on, he probably would have killed Clark.
Yeah, so it looks like the first round of pit stops is getting going through right now. So we've got Nick up into 15th after his pit stop. That's actually not bad. I'm going to be interested to see if you can make up a spot on Rados or Billingsley. Billingsley's in the pits. So now the question is, can Nick get past Austin? If he can, he might make up a spot, but it looks like he's stuck behind the Aston of Austin. Tongue twisters for you.
Say that 3 times fast. I think we get by him pretty quickly. I mean, Nick is a really good, really technical driver. He's got newer tires now, so
I can
think
barely
we
say
go
it
to-
once. I wonder if Austin's running a custom livery on that Aston, or he just likes pure black.
well, he is an artist. Nick has to check up big time.
Come on, Nick. Full send.
I wonder if he'll try to make him. Well, he's too far back to make a move going into this braking zone.
So Billingsley's
Maybe
coming
he'll-
out of the pits, and Nick is rounding
Nick
out.
keeps getting held up But he's going to have the toe coming down the straight, so maybe he'll try to make a move going into T1.
Yeah, he is going to have the toe. None of these count. Oh, he does
He's
get
gonna-
past.
Yeah, he's past Billingsley by quite a bit. No, still sitting back there.
Stop and go 30 for car 86. That is
That's Peter
Peter.
Boustron speeding in the pit.
Can't be doing that. It's really easy to do at Imola too. It's a really short pit entry. I mean, as soon as you come out that last turn, you pretty much have the pit lane and you got to be hard on the brakes.
Yep.
Really easy to miss.
Yeah, Nick is kind of... Oh, I think Austin led up to let him go by. So Nick is past Clark now. Nick was having some, I don't know if frustration, but his car was kind of twitching back and forth behind Clark. I don't know if he's getting frustrated being stuck behind him. But it looks like Clark pulled off to the side and kind of let him go. Fair play. I mean, they're in separate categories.
Yeah.
And we know that Nick is fast, so sometimes it's just better to just let him go. No point risking, him trying to push and taking both of you out.
So now we got Nick Alvarado in the pits, Rados in the pits, and then Brian Yang, who seems to have a very large fan club.
Yeah, Brian having a pretty good recovery drive. So you like to see that.
Yeah, no close battles on track. Looks like Sauer fell back quite a bit from Paul Miles. About a second and a half, almost 2 seconds behind him. Carl Biggs now 13 seconds ahead of Eric Groom. Not a lot happening. Still nobody dying in the chicane. I am disappointed.
Yeah, it's been pretty quiet up there.
Nick Alvarado coming back out. 1 lap down? Yep, 1 lap down from Carl Big.
So Nick Cahoot just blew by Rados. Almost like Rados let him go. But it was for position.
Yeah, but they're in a different class. I mean, Nick is putting in some decent laps out there. Carl Bigg's still doing 42.8s. His best is already a 42.3.
Yeah, he's on another level today. I don't see anybody challenging him at all.
No. So right now, all our top 10 has not been into the pits. Nick is about a minute and a half down from Carl, so there's no way he's gonna get past him. Yeah, not a lot of action now that everyone's done their first round of pit stops.
Went out Bruce Hopkins in the top 10, even though he hasn't pit yet, leading the M class. Going for number 4 in a row. Everything's kind of spread out now. We got Rados on Cahoot, which is the closest battle we have on track, and that's still a second. So as the pit cycle continues here, we got people kind of spreading out. I think people will start to bunch up more as we go.
Yeah, I expect to see some closer battles once everyone does their first round.
Paul Miles diving into the pit with Sauer right behind him. Sauer almost rear ends him going into the pit. And they are following in a car that I can't tell who the heck it is.
So this is going to be interesting. Who's going to get the jump on the pit? Paul Miles has a
Scott Chin.
Far way to go for his pit entry. And it looks like he kind of missed the stop too. His car's kind of parked a little bit sideways.
Yeah, they'll drag him over.
Yeah. ACC doesn't like that very much.
You got, yeah, 4 of your top 10 in the pit. Victor finds himself way up there in the
So
pits.
Dylan got dropped. And Miles got dropped. Is he going to come out
Yeah,
ahead? And he
Miles
does.
got him. Yep. He's actually going to gain some distance on Sour.
Yeah. Carl big
Not
in the
that it's going to
pits.
matter much going into turn 1, but he is going to be released first.
Ferrisady with his highest position so far in the race, P4.
Oh, Paul Miles with the drive-through.
Oh no.
What was that for?
Drive-through's track limits.
But he just came out of the pit.
Did he cut the chicane?
Okay, recon people, I need you to go over to Paul Miles' channel and find out what happened there. Oh, Bruce Hopkins with the stop. It's all falling apart.
Bruce Hopkins with the stop and go for speeding in the pits. That's going to be unfortunate. So that actually might give Brian Yang basically the AM win.
All right, go find out what he got a drive through for, please.
He's about 21 seconds behind, so way more than enough time.
Poor Bruce. Yeah, that's going to help Brian Yang, though. Because Bruce came out in front of Brian Yang. But unfortunately, Bruce is going to lose that when he serves that penalty.
Yeah, so now we
That'll
got
put
Nick.
Brian Yang up into P1 and AM class.
Nick behind Miles, and this is for position, and I know Miles is not going to give this up, but he does have a drive-through.
He's got a drive-through. But he's got 3 laps, so you can annoy Alvarado for 3 laps. And then serve your penalty.
Yeah, I feel like Miles is the kind of guy that would come in first lap and serve his penalty.
Yeah. But that's going to let Sauer, that's going to give Sauer that position that he's been working for.
There he goes.
You hate to see that.
So that moves Dylan all the way up to P10. Rados actually fell back a little bit. He's now behind Groom. So the only 3 people who haven't completed their pit stops are Hall, Sadie, and Bradford. And as I say that, Hall is going into the pits.
So you've got Groom scooting by. I believe that's Brian Curzon. Rados is going to push by him too.
Yeah, good on Brian for moving over.
Nick Cahoot. Yeah. Not playing Wreckfest today, so he's being a nice guy. But Groom is pitching up to Nick Cahoot.
So finally, the last person who hasn't completed their pit stop is Bradford.
Yep. Bradford, who started, I believe, P last. I don't know if he just doesn't like this track or if he's just having an off day or... And he did not have a good qualifying time. Bruce Hopkins in the pit serving his stop go 30.
Or Bruce.
Yep, 30 seconds is an eternity.
It is. Because you add the pit entry, the pit exit, so you're losing pretty much a minute.
Yeah, Nervesh, if you get a drive-through or something like that with... Because you get 3 laps to clear it, and if you get a drive-through with like 2 laps to go and you don't serve it, you do get a 30-second penalty. I believe it's 30 seconds. Added on at the end of the race. But if you get it before and you don't serve it during the race, it will disqualify you. Bradford into the pit.
Yeah, so everyone's done their pits. Racing is not that much closer, surprisingly.
The closest thing I see is Eric Groom on Nick Cahoot.
Yep.
And that's a 1 second gap.
Yeah, so Carl still has about a 10-second gap to P2, so he can just take it easy for the last 20 minutes. Doesn't even have to push all that hard. And I don't see Eric getting past Nick, unfortunately, not in that Bentley. I mean, the way he takes the chicane is pretty much like it's not even there. Someone nerfed the pit limiter sign. Someone did that in the real GT World Series race yesterday. I think it's Zandvoort. Somebody just collected the the pit speed limiter sign and brought it all the way down to their pit box. Thought it was kind of funny.
Oh, Bradford with a stop go 30. So whatever it is, it's catching people out. We got Lukey on beverage for P10.
So what you're saying is next time I race at Imola, if I'm the first one in the pits, or just dive in and take the sign out.
Yep. Well, that's the thing that people do. They'll take out the marker boards going into like turn 1 or something like that, just to try to mess people up. I didn't know you could do that for pit entrances.
Yeah, when it throws me off when people do it at Nürburgring and they take out the 100-meter board.
Yeah.
I never really learned how to orient myself. I know there's a little bit of an access road that I can look at, but I always miss it.
Yep.
I hate when people do that. It's the worst.
Lukey lost a little bit of time to beverage. You got Dorcius on Bradford in P16-17.
Yeah, but Bradford's got a stop and go, which I think he's going to come in this lap.
Yeah.
So it's not much of a fight there.
So with Bruce serving his penalty, that puts Brian Yang up into the top of AM class, sitting in P13. It's a pretty good recovery drive after being taken out by Chimilio early.
Yeah, I mean he is pretty.
You don't have
he's
to
a couple
say
of
it.
spots removed from the P2 in the AM class, so he's doing pretty well. I definitely think he got misplaced.
Yeah, there'll be a conversation about that one.
Eric Groom has caught up to Nick considerably in this last lap.
Well, good, because the rest of the race is really boring.
Yeah, he still got Dorcius about half a second behind Bradford and Lukey about 0.7.
I'm keeping an eye on the Lukey. I've got Thiago Alves playing in the sand, and he's out there collecting some.
I gotta refill those bags.
Yep. And sitting in, I guess P12 was where he was at.
Yeah, so that let Lukey by. So he's now P13. Or no, so he's still P12, sorry. Yeah, so this is going to be interesting because, like I said, the Bentley gets squirrely as time goes on. And if I remembered the Lambo that I drove when I did this series, 2 or 3 series ago, they got faster as time went on. So it's going to be an interesting, spicy last couple of laps here.
Oh, here we go. I got a replay for you. Get ready to make your mark. Get ready to make a mark. Because here comes Thiago.
I can't see. Oh. Uh-oh. Mark it. That is unfortunate. So we're up to 4, which is a lot less than I expected.
Things.
Oh no. Eric's caught up to the back of Bjorn. Bjorn goes wide all the way into the grass to let him by.
Yeah.
But that's still going to cost him some time. He's now 2 seconds behind. So he lost about 1.5 seconds there. That's frustrating.
Yeah, you hate to catch a back marker in a corner like that because, man, it just slows you down so much.
Yeah, and further down the field, Lukey on beverage. I mean, he's catching up pretty quick.
Keep an eye on that. He's got about a 0.5 second distance behind him. And he catches up to Beveridge, and then Beveridge pulls away, and then he catches up again. Kind of that back and forth thing.
I think the Porsche is by far the best looking car, I would say. Especially the rear end.
It's a very, very iconic, the 911.
But the sound is insane. The high-pitched transmission noise. Oh my god.
Uh-oh, we have a disqualification.
Oh no.
Daniel Bradford disqualified for speeding in the pit lane.
Well, that's
And he's immediately out of the server.
a first.
So, bad day for Bradford all around.
Yeah,
It's unfortunate.
that is unfortunate. I think that's the first time we've actually ever had somebody disqualified in one of our races.
Well, he had that penalty for speeding already, and then I guess he sped again.
So he's just in a hurry to get rid of it.
Or maybe because of that sign. You know, chat was saying that there's a sign missing. So anybody who gets a penalty and has to serve it or something like that is going to have to watch out.
Yeah, good thing Miles didn't pick it up also. So not much action going on. Lukey and Beverage are probably the two closest cars on track right now.
So Cahoot's only 8 seconds behind Carl now.
Yeah, he's been catching up. So his last lap was about half a second faster. And he is slowly chipping away, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Didn't Carl have a considerable lead?
Yeah, but why push if you're 9 seconds ahead, you know?
That's true. I thought he was like 20 seconds. I thought maybe Carl had an incident or something.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm him at this point in the race, I'm just cruising.
Yeah.
You know, win
Take
by
your
a
time
second.
getting by back markers and stuff like that. Don't take any chances getting taken out.
Right. Win by a second, win by a mile. Win's a win. Doesn't matter. You don't get points for being ahead of somebody 20 seconds.
You can lap the whole field. You're not going to get anything extra.
No, and he's pretty much lapped almost everyone down to everyone 17th and lower.
Although we do have extra points for fastest lap. And
We
right
do?
now it looks like Nick Cahoot has a 42.1.
Yeah, I mean, Nick is flying out there.
And Eric Groom's best is a 42.2.
Yep, and then Carl Big is in third with a 42.3, and then we got a 42.5 from Alvarado.
But no battles on track, unfortunately. Everybody's super spread out.
No, Curzon's flashing Hopkins, so he's trying to get by. Now, I don't think this is a blue flag situation. I could be wrong, though.
We got Peter Bustron off in the second part of Aqua Minerale. Waiting for people to go by.
So I see
And
the
he
blue
has
flag is being waved, but who is it being
left the
waved
server.
for?
Curzon, because he's
Billingsley.
being lapped
Yeah.
by
Okay.
Beveridge and Lukey. Peter Bustron has retired from the race. So Lukey got by Beveridge because Beveridge is now behind him.
Yes.
Ha! What?
Funny how that works.
What? I missed it. Because Lukey was like a second and a half behind. So
Yeah, I think they hit some lap traffic. And
they did.
Lukey got passed, but
They caught a lot of lap traffic.
I mean, they're in different classes, and because the way we do points, each class gets their own classification, so nothing really lost except track position. Yeah, Brian Yang still on his recovery drive up into P12 now. Hall all the way up in P6.
Oh, Beveridge got loose. Okay. Well, I found the replay. Coming down to the last couple corners, and Beveridge catches up to, I believe that's Bruce and Brian Curzon. and almost gets in the back of Curzon and gets loose and goes out into the grass, and that lets Lukey scoot by.
Man, this frame rate
What
is...
on earth is going on there?
And there goes Beverage past Lukey.
That we're gonna have to look at that. Holy cow!
It's funny, it was fine. When did we try it first? Last week or 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it worked fine.
Oh, it
and
looks like we got
Beverage
Beverage
goes
wide.
wide out of T7, but
Still holds it. I
nothing
mean, that's
lost
the
there.
optimum line, right? I take that
Technically,
line
yes.
all the time.
However, you have to be careful.
Sure, you can get track cuts.
Yep. I know for sure that going wide in Aquaminute Rally will get you a track cut every single time, which is supremely annoying.
I got 3 of them in a row, 3 laps in a row.
Oh, Bruce Hopkins, the size of
is that
chicane is
Bruce?
not exactly there. I will add
That's
that.
optional. That's not quite the Eric Groom line that we saw on Monday, but it's a pretty good one.
I mean, technically that is the optimal line, if there was a path.
So Lukey is back behind Beverage.
Yep, Lukey's back behind Beverage.
What? We missed it again.
No, he got passed and going into T6, turn 6.
Did he?
Yes.
Because he was behind Beverage when Beverage ran wide.
Yeah, he took him on the outside.
Okay. I'm watching too many replays. Sorry.
We're professionals, everyone.
I've got 4 screens of information glaring at me, so
It
hard
kind
to
of
watch
makes you
everything at once.
appreciate Formula One race directors who have, I think, like 50 screens.
Right? Holy cow, how do you keep track of that much information? Like when you see the pit wall,
Drugs.
the guy sitting down there, man. You got
Adderall.
telemetry, you got onboards, you got, trackside cameras. They are abusing that runoff area.
Yeah, I mean, I think most of the time you'll get a no time gained,
Yeah.
which is nothing. So, yeah, I don't see why you wouldn't abuse it. You do. I don't know if you gain some time, but you don't lose any time. You definitely don't lose as much time as you would by braking harder. So, yeah, if the game lets you, why not?
Might as well. Push it to the limits.
I am not going to sing that, but now it's stuck in my head. Thank you.
Come on, man, do it. Give us a rendition. We don't have any battles going on besides for Lukey and Beverage.
No,
Part of
because
the
then
job.
we'll get Twitch copy striked.
Oh, because it'll be so pitch perfect and spot on that they'll think we're playing music in the background.
Yeah, of course.
We'll get DMCA'd.
Yeah.
We don't want that.
No, it's the only reason I'm not doing it. Just so you know, it's not.
Well, as a fellow professional broadcaster who makes his living from this channel, I appreciate that.
Yeah. I don't want you to lose your penny.
I don't know what I would do with my Sundays if I didn't have this. I'd probably sit around and like eat chips and salsa and watch racing and stuff. I don't know.
Oh, do you have an only toes account?
Kenny. Man, why gotta put me on blast like that? Dang it, now it's out there.
Yeah, this was private information.
Right?
How
Only for
big is the
subs.
lead? Has dropped down to 7 seconds. I don't
He
think it's
may
enough
wanna-
still.
You may want to quit taking it easy. I mean,
Yeah,
he ran a 43.3 and Nick Cahoot ran a 42.6.
Yeah,
And
so I
Eric
mean,
Groom has the fastest lap now with a 42.135.
so 7/10.
I mean, they're not going to catch him because there's only 8 minutes
No.
left.
Yeah. And I don't think Eric's gonna catch Nick either, unless Nick goes wide or hits some serious traffic up ahead, which he's kind of clear, minus Scott Chin over here.
Yeah, barring some... I mean, Nick Cahoot is catching traffic now. Like working his way past. I don't know if that's Scott Chin or if that's Bruce. I can't really
Yeah,
tell.
that's
I
Chin.
think that's Chin.
Now he's
Which
got
Chin
a
lets him go.
pretty clear track ahead of him up until he catches up with Carl, actually. Carl's the car ahead of him, so.
Yeah.
Carl
Eric
Big
Groom.
led every lap, started P1 and, well, knock on wood, finished P1. Oh, Eric Groom with a drive-through.
No.
You hate to see it.
7.5 minutes to go. And he gets a DT.
That
Look for Groom to put that car into a wall now. Because that is his MO.
Aqua Minerale will eat you if you're not careful.
A little bit too wide on the exit, and that's track cut.
Yeah, that has to be supremely frustrating.
Man, you put down the fastest lap of the race. You're trying to catch the guy. You've got a podium in your hand, and you get a DT with 7 minutes to go.
Racing is racing.
That's yeah. I mean, these guys are out there taking every inch they can get, and sometimes you just take a little bit too much.
Nick Alvarado in 7th. As he would say, you
recovery
love to
drive.
see it.
A recovery drive. I mean, I do love to see him not in first place. But considering that spin he had early and how far down the list he fell, I mean, a really good result from him. Especially in a car that he calls trash.
Don't believe his lies.
Paul Miles down to 14th after his drive-through.
Yeah. So Paul Miles down to 14th. He's about, what, 2.5 seconds off of Tiago.
Yeah, I want to see if he can catch Alves before this is all over. I mean, we know Alves has been struggling a little bit today. He's had a couple spins, and he's not taking those curves very well. So let's see if Miles can chase him down.
Luke, he's still keeping up with Dylan. I don't know if he's going to... I mean, there's no reason to push and try to make a move.
I don't know. I feel like they should swap spots about 3 more times. Just
so
I can see one. I want to watch one. Come on.
Swap it so you can miss it again.
Right. Duran coming up on Oliveira down there in P18, 19.
Oh, here they go. Is he going to do something? Let's see what happened here.
All right, I'm watching. I'm watching now. It's not going to happen.
No, it's not.
Eric Groom into the pit, serve his drive-through.
So that's going to drop him down. I don't think it's going to drop him further than P6. Hall is quite a ways back. He's got about 1.5 minutes until P6, so he's still going to come out in P5, but that's got to hurt. I mean, you were P3, possibly second place if you were pushing.
Yeah. And I don't think he'll get enough points for fastest lap to overcome what he's just lost.
Oh, and as I say that, he does drop down to P6 and 7. My math is way off.
Yep.
P8.
He's gonna drop a bunch. He's back out on track now. Yeah, he's dropped down to P8. So 5 spots lost.
But he is about 1.5 seconds from Sadie, and let's be honest, he has been much, much quicker this race, so maybe he can salvage 1 place around here. As I say that, he mounts the curves at turn 7. Keeps it clean, though. You also have to remember, you now have another 4 track cuts to play with.
Yeah, it's true. You have a fresh slate. So now we see the Eric Groom line and watch him blow right through the chicane.
Strategy does come into play now. Use him wisely, and he just mounts those curbs going into the chicane. Wow.
Yep. He is absolutely sending it.
Paul Miles within 1 second of Tiago. As they both go a little bit wide into turn 7.
Lukey's caught back up to Beverage, so I'm going to watch this the rest of the race. Like, I'm not taking my eyes off of this battle.
Oh, Paul Miles gets a little oversteery coming out of Aqua Minerale.
Under
goes a
3 minutes.
little bit wide.
We got about 2 laps to go. Depending on how quickly Carl gets through the chicane in the last couple corners. Yeah, really good drive by Rados and Blaine Hall. 2 silvers in the top 5.
Yeah,
All
and
that
Eric is
practice
actually pretty much caught up with Ferris here. I want to see a full send going into the chicane. At least once. We only have 2 minutes left. Come on.
He may do it. I don't know. I don't know if the Lambo will do it because normally he drives a bigger car.
I mean,
No,
it'll
he's
do
not
it,
gonna do it.
but depends on if he's going to do it. Yeah, so we got
Look,
that
he gets a
battle
little
going on.
squirrely.
We got Paul
Come out of the
Miles
chicane.
half a second behind Tiago, so he's got about a lap to do something here. I know this is going to be for pride points and regular points. Oh, and Tiago goes wide coming out of Aqua Minerale, which gives Miles the spot. How
Tiago.
unfortunate.
Tiago's just
Was
been
that on
having
purpose?
issues all race. Like every time we look at him, he's turned the wrong direction or he's out there in the sand. Now one of those mid-engine cars is not doing well.
Yep, Lukey's dropped down a little bit from Beverage. Groom has dropped down from Sadie quite a bit. He's out 1.87 seconds behind. So not much happening in the closing minutes of the race. We had a couple people drop out. Really unfortunate for Chimilio and his hardware issue.
Yeah.
Hopefully he gets that squared away before next race. Groom goes really wide into turn 7.
Yep. Who cares?
Okay,
Like,
good
send it, man.
Final lap now. Give it all you can.
Use
That
everything to
goes
let you
really
have.
wide into Aqua Minerale. That's going to be a track cut.
Oh no, Beverage. I saw Lukey
Oh,
pass
no.
Beverage. Because Beverage, I
Beverage
think,
is
hit
in the
Durand.
wall.
I think that was Durand.
One lap to go. Well, he hasn't lost any class positions. He just lost track position to Lukey, which isn't the end of the world.
Find out what happened.
This replay gonna look any better? Oh, he just...
That's unfortunate.
Was that Durand?
Yeah, that's Bjorn Durand. The Belgian car just got sideways.
Yeah, so he's gonna have some damage, but last lap, just 2 corners left. Like I said, didn't really lose any class positions.
Yeah. But he's been battling with Lukey the whole race, and to have it end that way. Ugh.
Groom catching up to Sadie again. Hopkins catching up to Guillerme, but again, not class. I don't think that's gonna lead to much.
Groom on Sadie. Come on, Groom. Yeah, Bruce doesn't have any reason to push past him.
Groom
Other than
does
his
though.
Race.
So Carl Big,
Look at
that's
the
gonna
line
be a
by
track
Groom.
cut. If I see a drive-through, I am going
Sand
to
it.
full
Send it.
laugh.
Aw.
Oh, no!
Sadie! Oh no! Put
What
him
have
on
you
the list.
done? What have you done at the worst possible
No.
time?
He gets it back going before Sour catches up. But we're up to 6.
Oh no! Got about 3 corners. That's all you had to do.
Yeah.
Come on, just 3 turns.
But you know that that groom is probably talking to him in the chat and telling him that he's coming for him. So Sadie's looking behind, and that's all it takes.
I mean, Groom took a very liberal line through Aquaman and Raleigh. Very liberal line.
Like you said, he had a clean slate. He served his time.
Yeah, so Lukey in the top 10. Nice to see him there. Hall top 5. Rado's top 3.
Yeah, good for Lukey for not getting killed this race.
Yeah, Brian Yang had a pretty good recovery race up into P12.
Yep, winning the AM class.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised to see Hopkins all the way down in 19th, but he did have that, I think he had a stop and go, right? 30?
Yeah, for speed in the pit.
Yeah, so that's gonna... Tiago just driving the car straight into the wall.
Yep, as you do.
Yep, it just keeps going. Sense some frustrations over there.
It's clear to say that he is not happy with his performance today. I mean, P14, he is last of the pro category. And he got beat by an AM. But yeah, he won't be happy with all those spins and the off tracks and things like that. Carl Big, your winner. Not even contested this race. Nick Cahoot P2. Andrew Rados wins silver. Coming in P3. Billingsley in P4. Lane Hall with a great drive. He should be happy with that. Round out your top 5. Nick Alvarado with the recovery. Eric Groom in 7. Sadie in P8. They swapped positions on the last lap. Number 9, Lukey 10. And the rest
So
from there.
unless I'm mistaken, Groom should have kept his fastest lap of the race with a 142.135. Which apparently I can't go into details because ACC won't let me.
Yeah, so Eric Groom had a 142.135, and Nick Cahoot had a 142.150. It looks like Groom has the fastest lap of the race.
Yep, by only 15 thousandths.
Yep. All it takes to get points.
That's true. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. Next week we are at Misano. Yes.
I looked at the event configuration the other day. Bring your umbrellas.
Oh. Is this our first rainy race of the season?
It's going to be a little wet.
Possibly. Well, that's going to be interesting. Looking forward to that. But like I said, thanks everyone for joining in. We will see you next week from our professional, professional broadcast team.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Thanks for coming, everybody.